Within the framework of Sweden and Finland's application for NATO membership, we have experienced certain processes where we've managed to put Turkey's red lines forward quite clearly. Ever since the first day, we have always talked about our concerns, and we've talked about the issues that we were very sensitive about. We were always constructive, yet we were always resolved. On Thursday, under the facilitation of Secretary-General, we got together with the leaders of Sweden and Finland within the framework of summit. The memorandum that we had signed altogether is a beacon which shows us that Turkey's concerns had been appreciated and understood. Of course, this is a beginning. This is an inception. It's an invitation. But what matters most is to keep the promises that were committed. From this moment on, we will be closely monitoring the implementation of the issues which were recorded within this memorandum, and we will take the necessary steps forward accordingly. Distinguished members of the press, we shouldn't think that diplomacy is a zero-sum game where one side always loses and the other side always wins. On the contrary, we have to believe and remain committed to the fact that diplomacy is the shortcut, is the most guaranteed path towards the common interests and common benefits that we need to achieve. This memorandum that was signed between Turkey, Sweden and Finland requires us to have this perspective whilst we are analyzing the developments. And that's how I believe it's going to be. With no doubts, this memorandum is a diplomatic triumph that was accomplished after a very trying period of negotiations for Turkey and for our nation. With the trilateral memorandum, we are going to observe a full cooperation in fighting against PKK and its affiliates. We will see full solidarity in fighting against all forms and all types of terrorism that would reveal themselves. A commitment that no longer a support would be provided to PYD, YPG and veto. Also, a pledge to increase cooperation with the eradication of embargoes imposed upon us in the defense industry and the elimination of restrictions. A pledge provided by Sweden and Finland that they were going to revisit and tailor their local legislations and their implementations in fighting against terrorism and defense industry exports. There are going to be concrete steps taken forward for the extradition of terrorist criminals. Sweden already pledged the extradition of 73 terrorists to Turkey. There was a pledge about the banning of revenues collected by PKK and its affiliates and the recruitment of new members and the investigation of such attempts from now on. And we have received strong and resolved guarantees that terrorist propaganda against Turkey will be stopped once and for all. In order to examine the implementation of these pledges, we have decided that we are going to establish a common mechanism in order to welcome different stakeholders from different parties. Finland and Sweden, including PESCO and other European Union security mechanisms, will support Turkey's full partnership in the widest sense possible. From the first day on, we have always been talking about our sensitivities, and all of those sensitivities had been stated clearly in the trilateral memorandum. Along with Turkey and NATO, Finland and Sweden have both become very triumphant in the signing of this memorandum as well, along with the people of these countries. Every concrete step that we take forward in fighting terrorism will contribute tremendously to the peace, prosperity, and security of these nations. No repetition is required. If we don't have this ratified by our parliament, there is no way out. First, Finland and Sweden will have to deliver the pledges that they were committed to within the memorandum. They have to do what is necessary. On the occasion that they deliver their pledges, we will send this memorandum to our parliament for ratification. But if the pledges will not be delivered, of course, it won't be possible for this memorandum to find its way to the parliament. You know that Macedonia managed to be a member of NATO. How long did it take? 20 years. 11 plus 9. 20 years. And this is not a process that can be easily finalized. I want it, so I'll have it. No, it's not the case. Sweden knows this, and Finland knows this too. And within this understanding and within this consciousness and awareness, if you will, they will take these steps forward, hopefully. PKK, PYD, YPG, and veto, all these terrorist organizations will have to be eradicated. They need to be wiped out. And they have to carry out the legislative amendments in order to do that.